Hello everyone, it's me, Coffee Stitcher. It is the first Sunday in March. Yeah, so how's everyone doing? I hope everyone had a good week, a good end of February. Good. Alright, so we've got some Q&A. Got a small tiny scotch of haul and a little bit of whip updating to do. So we're going to dive right on in. Thank you to everyone who understood the soapbox last week. Obviously, if you're in Mania, it carried over. Katie and I have sort of made battle plans, if you will. We won't be shutting the group down, at least not at this point. We've got a battle plan and we're going from there. So yeah. Anyhow, so we'll dive right into the good old Q&A. Apollonia Lambertus asks, what do you mean when you say fat half, fat quarter, fat eighth? That's the size of the fabric. Hello, Phoebe. So that just refers to the cut. So a fat eighth is like 13, is like 9 by 13. A fat quarter is like 13 by 18. A fat half. Yeah, no, fat quarter is 18 by 27. A fat eighth is 13 by 18, and a fat 16th is like a 9 by 13. So it just depends on how much you're needing for it. The fat half, I think, is like 27 by 36 or something like that. I mostly work on either fat eighths or fat quarters. Jody Bedard wants to know where I began Longfellow's Round Tower. She's actually working on what sounds like a fat half. And she's thinking that she needs to start in the top left corner 6 inches from the top and the side. I don't ever work with that much. I usually do 3 inches, 2 to 3 inches, sometimes 1.5 inches. Sometimes when I'm really living dangerously, I even do just 1 inch. But I did start mine in the top left corner. I just felt like I felt more comfortable doing that. So that's what I did, was I started in the top left corner and just am working my way through that way. Addicted Stitcher says, love that bright blue fabric. What is it? And I believe that's the one for Legendary Creatures. It is Ocean Drive. It was the fabric of the month, or like May of 2015 or so, from Dye Stitch Love, who unfortunately is no longer dyeing. So that's dyeing fabric. I would assume she wasn't dyeing in the first place. I guess technically we're all dyeing. Why do I always get onto that topic? Okay, so she no longer is dyeing fabric. Boop, boop, boop. Anita Schaub asks, what is the first project you remember working on? There was actually a Noah's Ark bookmark that I tried in, like, the early 90s, early mid-90s. But in terms of, like, so, because that was the first attempt at cross-stitching when I was, like, 9. It did not go very well. But the first actual thing I did was the, Camelot Designs, Emerald City, which is hanging in the living room. Do. Also, I do want to give a public shout out to Christine of Stitch All the Things for the very lovely video. Sorry, I'm scrolling through because there was trying to make sure I don't miss any questions. Let's see. Okay, I think that was all of it. If I missed your question, I do apologize. Please feel free to ask again. And never be afraid to ask me multiple things, because I like to answer Q&A. Alright. So my little bit of haul. First, I got the next part of the Farmhouse Christmas series from 3Owl. Well, the design is by Little House Needleworks. I got it through 3Owl Threads. And it's called Horsing Around. So I will start on that probably later this week. I also got some minders because I, needed to, after the frustrations from the other day, I wanted something to feel better with. So, and I got these from Mad for Minders on Etsy. So I got the Scooby Gang and the Mystery Machine, which isn't from my favorite of the Scooby cartoons. It's from, I think, Be Cool Scooby-Doo. No, not Be Cool Scooby-Doo. What's New Scooby-Doo. Mostly because I didn't like the new... well, partially because I didn't like the new theme song, and I didn't like the weirdly updated costumes that weren't all that updated. But there's that. I got Sunday Afternoon on the Isle of the Grand Jeté, which is my favorite painting. I got a really cool B-movie poster, Queen of Outer Space, with Zsa Zsa Gabor. And then she sent me a cute free little Tin Man needle minder. So I assume it's a she, maybe it's a he. But it came really nice. I really like the backing they use to kind of keep the minders from doing anything weird. It's just a little bit of foam. So some fun little new minders. Next week is the needle show haul from Stitch Niche. So I'll be going there for a little bit in the morning. So I'm sure there'll be money spent. That doesn't need to be spent, but it'll be spent. And I may, if they'll approve it, I may try and do a video from there. I don't know if it'll be a live video or if I'll just film it and upload it when I get home, but we'll see. Next weekend, my mother-in-law is actually going to be here, so there may not be a video next week. There may be, or at least a regular video. I don't really know just yet. But if there's not, don't be alarmed. So, alright, we'll talk about WIP updates. So, I worked on Legendary Creatures, and I did indeed finish. Well, mostly finish. I got the Ifrit, and I got Nessie done. Nessie is missing one color of blue, because I didn't have a good in-between metallic blue color. So when I go to Stitch Niche this week, I'll be doing that. So, but I used metallics for the water around Nessie, and for the fire for the Ifrit. So, there we go. The next two parts have come out. I will work on those probably later in the month. It was a hippogriff and something else. I forget what it was, but yeah. So, that was that. And then I worked on the Little Prince part of Fairy Tale Land 1, or Fairy Tale Land 2. So we've got the aviator's plane, the planets, the stars, we've got the rose, the snake is down here, the sheep is over here, and then we've got the prince himself. And then to sort of compensate for my overshoot with Cogsworth here, I'm going to add I've got a moon and a couple of more stars that'll go over along this side. And I'm going to move some of the clouds over a little. So we're going to place the little prince and his fox. So, yeah. So there it is. This is on 32 Count Autumn from Under the Sea Fabrics. And I'm using gold, all the called for DMC, just about. I am going over some things, obviously, with Sparkle. You can see it in the stars there. And then this is Gold Star from Classic Colorworks that we're using for the Yellow Brick Road. So, there we go. I really probably could have gotten more done yesterday. This rose took me, I was just being lazy. It took me way longer to do the rose than it really probably should have. So, anyhow, I guess that's kind of it for me this week. Like I said, it's kind of a short video. I tend to do the shorter videos. I like to think of them as being bite-sized, which lets everyone get a chance to have one when they need one real quick. So, anyhow, that's about it for me. I hope everyone has a great week, and I will see you all later. Bye!